I mean, look at our infrastructure. It's falling apart. You feel me?
I hear you.
You speaking
It's
out the next.
it's tore up. The streets is tore up. They got lead pipes from the 1940s, ain't been changed. The food is messed up. The water is messed up. And people walking around beating the crap out of each other, you can go back into the drug thing. The CIA was flying that stuff in using military planes. That's how we got cocaine and crack and all that stuff up in here. That stuff's coming out now. All of that truth is coming out. And they're trying to suppress it as much as they can and keep your focus on the coronavirus.
Good morning, good evening, and how you do? This is Hips News with another great episode for you. Today we have a special guest, Shawty, the man. Um, he has a lot of talent, a lot of information and knowledge he's gonna share with us out here. We're fortunate to have him. Shorty, would you like to say hello to the people out in Hips News?
Hey, how y'all doing? Nice to meet all of y'all.
Yeah.
Good to be here.
Thanks for being here, Shorty. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Yeah. Mr. Two, would you like to say something in addition?
Yes, this is going to be another marvelous broadcast. I can't wait to see what the elder has to say to us as far as inspiration, and hopefully we can walk away once again learning something and come up with some type of positive solutions on how to better ourselves. Nice to meet you, Mr. Shorty.
Yeah, nice to meet you too, Mr. Two.
As indigenous to Turtle Island,
Right.
we have been subject to the government, but with the miseducation of us, we tend to blame, or I can't even say we tend to blame. I would say we choose to play the race game as according to how they displayed it for us to play it.
Oh, you hit the nail on the head right there.
We're always more or less blaming. Some people call them white. I prefer to call them European, but we keep blaming them as individuals, and it's not necessarily the individual; it's the government. So yeah,
it's
I want
government. Race is a construct.
Right. I want to crack the government's head and then play that video, and then we can wrap it up.
All right, then. So moving along, in this segment of Hips News, we're gonna do a breakdown of warp speed and the logo and the hidden meaning within the logo as well. Um, First of all, as you can see, this on the display is the Department of Defense, and within the Department of Defense, uh, as you know, what it represents. Okay, so what has been uh, found out when you do the research or when you go into the Department of Defense, the
Right.
13 stars.
13 stars above the wings. Yeah.
Yeah, above the eagle, the bird of choice, the eagle.
Yeah.
It has a meaning as well.
Uh-huh.
But we're actually going into the uh, meaning of the Operation Warp Speed. But what they have
Okay.
done is they have taken the 13 stars and they have placed them on, as you can see, on the Operation of Warp Speed. They got
Okay.
four on one side, four on the other, and you got the five in the left side.
I
Now
see.
the
Mm-hmm.
the the stars itself represents or from the Department of Defense, which represents the 13 colonies as
Yes, that's
well,
correct. They
right?
do. They do represent the colonies. Yes.
Right. 13 has a special number. Also, it is a special number when dealing with the Masons, the Freemasons as well.
Oh, you went there. Okay. Yeah.
And you know that the American government or the U.S. The corporation of U.S. Is highly use uh, Kemetic science as well as ancient African uh, ideals to
Idealisms. I see what you. I see what.
idealisms of the American government and the creation
Right.
of America. Okay, now the reason being that the stars on the left side, it has a balanced purpose to them, but we'll get into that in later. In the middle, you have the Department of Health and Human Resource Services, and you can see
Mm-hmm.
the eagle there, the image of the eagle again, and the
Uh,
wings, and the
mm-hmm.
wings. In the wings, you have the faces of the American people, which is
Oh yeah.
both light and dark. But
Yeah.
in but they incorporated again that only the wings of the eagle on the operation of warp speed on the right hand side,
Right. Mm-hmm.
right? It's not the faces, not the eagle itself, but the wings. All right.
Right.
So now, as you know, the right side is only has the wing. So that is the right wing position. The right wings are the conservatives, the social
Okay.
order, the natural law and economics department,
Okay. I'm
which is
following you.
and 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 that is originally based out of Europe. And in Europe, the right wings are the nationalists.
Well, actually,
And
it's of the monarchy. I mean, they control. I know where you're
what
going
what
with this, but
what they mostly they were labeled as the nationalists.
yeah,
That's what
but
it's.
you know, the names will change, you know, over time and stuff. But this goes way back. I mean, you're
Well,
talking
they
about.
normally change, yeah.
Yeah, they
But I
do.
mean, the basic essence of it. Okay, now continuing.
Yeah,
Okay,
continue, please.
the Department of Defense is their job is basically for to protect and care for the American citizens, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Right. That's if you look it
That's
up.
what you're told.
That's well. This is what it's been stated.
That's
Yes, of course.
right, right. That's what's put out there. Right. Hmm.
Now, actually, of course, when you come with the Department of Defense, is dealing also with military and warfare,
Yeah,
and right,
you ain't
and
lying
so
about that.
right, so the also within the U.S. Defense, you have what they call the Tri-Care Health Plan,
You're right.
and that deals with mostly with the military hospitals and clinics that have civilian health uh, healthcare or doctors that actually do research and
Right.
development. Now, the question that comes to mind:
Okay.
what do what do the medical research and clinic has to do with the Department of Defense?
Okay.
Right.
Well, it's called bio warfare. That's
Oh,
simple.
okay. I'm gonna get into that now.
Hmm.
Moving along, because you already, but what I'm trying to say is that what is the purpose of having that in the Department of Defense when you have the Department Health and Human Services, and
Right.
their job is what? Their job is to provide health and human services, grants for homes, business loans,
Right.
and also to take care of the elderly, the children, and the welfare. And they are funded or have association with the CDC and the Food and Drug Association.
And also the National Institute of Health. Yes.
Right, of course, right? Okay, well,
Hmm.
CDC and such, right? Okay, now,
Right.
now for Department of Health and Human Services, they're supposed to take care of the health
Of
of
the
the
people.
people,
Right.
right? But you, as you can see, that in the Department of Defense, they also have a hu- uh, uh, a research department for medical.
That's correct.
This should right, so this should bring up raise a flag to it, right? It should.
Right.
Now, getting back to the uh, the Department of Defense, in a sense, you have what they call e plumas uma moto, which represents out of
E
many
pluribus unum. Yeah. Hmm.
moto, right? And
Right.
that meaning out of many there's one,
That is correct.
right?
It's
So
so Latin.
that is correct. That is the Latin
Yes.
term,
Yes, the Latin term.
right? Okay. Now, from what we have from both departments of health and research and the Department of Defense, they're integrated together, and you got the warp speed logo.
That's correct.
Now,
Yeah.
okay, now, like I said, on the left side, you have the defense or the military, and on the right
Yeah.
side, you have human resource. In the middle of this, you of war speed, you have the corona in the tesseract,
Mm, I
and
see that.
if you know what the tesseract is, you know what the tesseract is. The
No, go ahead
tesseract.
and enlighten me. I just want to know from your perception what you feel
Okay.
it is.
No, it's not the feeling, but with the research that has been done,
Okay.
is the tesseract is the sense of consciousness.
Right.
Now,
I'm feeling you.
if you look at the cube which holds the coronavirus,
Uh-huh.
it's a double cube, which means it's squared,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, in that sense, if you kind of step back and look at it, look at the
Mm-hmm.
whole uh, picture frame, you will
Mm-hmm.
see that with the corona in the middle of the tesseract, with the
Right.
lines in the background,
Right.
if you step back, that is a retina, a eye. The
Yeah,
corona
it
is
can be
the
interpreted that way. Yes, it can be interpreted that way. Mm-hmm.
well,
Operation Warp Speed was done by Trump. Well, actually, he was the face of Operation Warp Speed. That's
right.
from the Trump era. Okay, so and
Well,
what did
okay, I'll let you get to that. But what I'm trying to
uh,
say is that if you look at it and you break it down, which is again the coronavirus in the middle of the tesseract, which is consciousness, and
okay.
with the lines in the background and the corona in the middle, it is a pupil of an eye.
Yeah,
And
it can be interpreted that way. Yes.
right, right, okay. Now, what I'm trying to say is with the collaboration of the Department of Defense and the Department of Health and Human Services,
Right.
if you understand this, it is basically breaking down that it is a bio product. or a bio. It could be used as a bioweapon.
It was intended to be created as a. The intention is to find a way to stop any future coronaviruses from harming humanity. Okay, that's why they went in for all of this testing and everything and stuff like that. But on the flip side, like you said, you're getting into a very delicate area, because on the other side, the military wanted to be able to control it in case they go up against these dictators and they can't seem to make things work, and they can use it as a bioweapon. And that's not just one military. That's pretty much all of them. All of them have biolabs around the world.
But the logo itself is based from the Department of Defense, and that's a U.S. construct. That's U.S. That's
Operation Warp Speed. Yeah, but that's Operation Warp Speed actually was. They wanted you to think that Operation Warp Speed was to get rid of the coronavirus. You know, that's what you're supposed to. Warp Speed means real fast. We're gonna cure this, and we're gonna do that and do that. You know, it wasn't meant as to be weaponized. It was meant to box that corona that you're talking about, the eye, and to box it in and get rid of it. You know, and that was the original intention that they wanted you to think about. But the thing was, they capitalized on it. I mean, Trump told you in the beginning. He said it'd go away. I knew right away. It wasn't going nowhere. It was airborne from the moment we live in Asia. So, you know, you have to remember, America is modern day Rome. E pluribus unum, out of many, one. Okay? We're conquerors. I mean, for you to become a councilman or do anything, we compete. We're raised to do that. Okay? So yes, what you do is you repetitively incite a behavior until your neocortex, your brain, starts to recognize it. It's the same thing, like, you know, this is the same thing. That's why it goes way back. And you got to understand how they play this game. This is a game. Life is a game, okay? And the people that are in control want to stay there, okay? And so they needed, how do you say, the British and the French and the Spanish and stuff. You know, they had already taken all the gold and everything that they could do. You know, they walked right into the United States. They needed the United States. And most of the Europeans that came to the United States were thugs, what people that England didn't want no more. Okay. and they came over here and they didn't know how to do nothing. So that's why they went and got slaves, just like the British did. And I mean, all of this stuff is playing right into this game right here. The coronavirus was a mistake. So Operation Warp Speed was to get rid of it. And it didn't work. You know, it once they saw that they can make money on it, and they started capitalizing. They started playing it down. They said, "Oh, wear a mask. Oh, don't wear a mask. This, that, and the other." The minute that thing got loose, since it's airborne, since it's a respiratory virus, okay, you breathe it in. I mean, you can wipe down surfaces and stuff like that, whatever you want to, but the coronavirus can survive on the surface for up to 2 weeks. So that's why you got to wipe stuff down. And it can float right through the air too. But they don't tell you all of that. You know, they misinform you. They get you confused, and then you don't know which way is up. But I got to study while I was doing that. I'm a science buff, and, you know, and I can speak it straight. I can let you know, we are modern day Rome. Our Defense Department is out there to ensure that Rome stays powerful, that it stays rich, and the rich in Rome stay rich, and the poor in Rome stay poor, just like it was back then. It's that way now. So when the British got problems, or the French got problems, or there's a problem over there in South Korea or Japan, or, you know, Rome steps up. There is no military on this planet that can beat the United States military. They can prop up China. Why would you have an army unless you had an adversary? Okay, so they need to prop up somebody. Russia, the wall went down over there, So, the Russians playing their little game right now, trying to be like the United States, and so is China. But Russia is working with the United States to allow China, because that's cheap labor over there. Okay, so what does Rome do? Rome sends their corporations over there, sets up shop, and doesn't pay them that much. I mean, look at the United States infrastructure. This all started with Reagan, man. Everything changed. Before that, people were insured. You could buy a house, a car. I mean, just with daddy working, you could buy a house, a car, and you can feed your kids, and your food wasn't contaminated. Okay. As soon as Reagan got in office, all of a sudden the corporate tax rate went down, way down. The corporations started moving their money into offshore accounts, building companies, subsidiaries all around the world and everything. Rome branched out, okay, to make sure it maintained control for the monarchy, for the Bilderberg group. This is some deep stuff you got. You got all this stuff in it. Man, that's deep. I feel proud of you, man. I don't really get to talk to people much because most people, that I talk to are scientists, like Bruce Lipton. Bruce Lipton is the one who came up with stem cell research, which are the most powerful cells. They can turn into anything, man. Your hands, your heart. And he said, let me put some of these in this dish. And each dish was different. And he left the 3 dishes over the weekend. He was at the University of Wisconsin at this time. He had tenure. Okay. And then I met him, and I used to go and sit in his science classes and listen to him talk. And what he had done was he came back after the weekend and he looked in one petri dish, it was growing bone. He said, wait a minute, what's going on? He looked in the other one, it was growing fat cells and stuff like that. Whoa, wait a minute. So he decided to start studying them. And he started realizing these cells are sentient. Every human cell in the body is sentient. So what the military did is they started picking up on it. His work started to progress. And, science is just like a religion, the scientists. They don't want to hear about that kind of stuff. But the military got interested in it. Okay? Because they was like, hey, people find this out, they're not going to be following religion and stuff like that anymore and stuff like that. And these guys right here, the 3 things you got up there, that all makes a lot of sense. But it's just the icing on the cake. This is some complex stuff you into. And it goes way back, man. And, we are the strong arm of the world right now. And we've got pulse weapons. We've got missiles that we can fire with brains in them. They can fly at low levels and reach their target unnoticed by radar. We can do all of that. So, worrying about China, stuff like that, all that stuff is just flexing. North Korea, it's all flexing. North Korea just pimping. That's all they're doing. They're trying to keep their dictatorship in there. Communism is only in China right now. Every place else is just dictators, And the thing they fear the most is us. The Operation Warp Speed was to help contain it. That's why you see a box around it. It was to contain the virus, okay? And they couldn't do that because corporations were, well, no. We got this, it's called BioNTech. So Operation Warp Speed, yeah, that's cool, man. I like that you brought that up. I'm sorry I'm talking because I don't usually get to talk this much to explain how this is going down.
Can I interject real quick?
Oh yeah, go right ahead.
Okay, I'm looking at this Operation Warp Speed logo, right? And
yeah,
just to clear the air, Vessel One, were you strapped in dungarees when you was young?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I myself was strapped in dungarees when I was younger too, and as both people who were strapped in dungarees serving this Department of Defense, this is how I see this logo. I stand on my square, salute this operation is the mission, warp speed ahead.
There you go.
You pretty much got it.
That's what it's telling me. And it doesn't tell me what warp speed is. It just tells me my mission.
Mm-hmm.
And the mission of warp speed has unfolded in front of our eyes for the last year and a half. What they told us the mission was at the time that we first set out on deployment is not the
Correct.
same as what the mission is now. And Vessel One, how many missions have you been on that was exactly the case?
Few to none. I can tell you that now.
Okay. So, as someone who's been in the military and someone
Oh my gosh.
who
You
has
you guys are both you guys from been in the military?
yes, sir.
Yeah.
This
Go ahead.
this is how the military mind should see it, whether you're still in or you're not. And as far as the people who are still in, they're the ones that felt the brunt of this warp sped vaccination. Whether the vaccination is harming people or not, that still is in the card decks and being shuffled. But
Mhm.
this logo itself speaks volumes. These logos do have secret meanings, and it's as we keep referring to, it's a European concept. So they have a way of double speaking. So you have to be aware of the symbology on everything they do.
You nailed it, man. You just nailed it, man.
And I believe that we're pretty much all saying the same thing, but as we as individuals, we only know what we've been told. And then from what we've been told, we have to kind of figure out what is the best next move that we can make that is logical and going to be safe for us to make the next move. So I think we pretty much covered the logos.
Yeah.
So do you want to jump to uh, Dr. X's clip?
Yeah,
And
we can just roll with that.
he kind of breaks down uh, more or less what the government has set up for the people as well. And I believe Brother X also was in the military.
Now these are real Hollywood actors, and his wife, they scared for their lives. And this particular article has in front of it a truck that's a part of the government/military industrial complex surveillance system, where they've got vans riding around with the scanning technology inside the trucks, scanning people and scanning automobiles on the streets today.
And
what
I
people
saw, excuse me, but did you see that video they had where the guy was showing you that he had this machine and he can walk right past a person and it can scan all the information in your wallet off your
Absolutely.
credit card?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yes, I did see that. And see, that's just the tip of the iceberg. And that's what this stuff points to. But more fundamentally, somebody is deciding that this should take place. And it's going across governments, Democrats and Republicans. They're all voting for this stuff, okay? Mm-hmm. Now, why would people who claim to want to be free vote for the people to be enslaved? And the only logical reason that you can come to is that somebody else is controlling what they do. And so that's when you understand how important it is to monitor the movements of the people who control this apparatus that they call currency, which denotes energy. And so you don't have any energy and therefore any relevancy unless you have what they call currency, because everything is vibrational / electromagnetic. Everything. Right. And so they've created a synthetic version of that electromagnetic control grid that they used to call gravity, but now the science is changing, so they're telling you that's electromagnetic, and the entire solar system is electromagnetic. Now, I know I'm getting a little bit off the subject matter, but it all fits because, again, this is a part of this global system of control that they're attempting to put in place. with little or no opposition based on keeping people in fear.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going on. And what people have to do, I'm going to give you the solution before anybody asks. What people have to do is, one, stop participating in the insanity. Only where you have to participate. Where you don't, stop. Stop it. That means these paid-off people that keep telling us to go to the polls where we see it's totally ineffective, stop. Take a look at what it's doing. All of your major cities are broke. Who did that? Poor people didn't do that. Politicians and rich people did that. They did it. And so the issue becomes not that Obama saved X number of million of people from getting unemployment checks. The issue is you had the 99ers who ain't a part of that mix no more, millions of people who just lost theirs, and you don't see a corresponding conversation taking place on creating millions of jobs so that's not necessary. And the reason that they're not discussing that is because the term that I mentioned earlier, the new normal.
Well, they're seeing it now.
And they feeling it. And so it's going to become critical that people band together, form corporate structures, pool your resources so that you don't have to deal with this beast no more than you have to. And you can even create your own currency, as many municipalities are now doing, to get yourself out of this control system that these people have put in place.